All right, we are now recording. So welcome to the April 6th online engineering class. Before we get into the good stuff, does anybody have any questions or comments or, tell us about what you did over the weekend? It was fun or anything worth discussing? Or should we just get right into it? I'm not seeing anything, so I guess we'll go ahead and get right into it then. Okay, so I hope everybody took the quiz. The quiz is now, it passed due. So it was due about 2 minutes ago. A tiger got the corona. Oh my goodness, I didn't hear that. Okay, and brug to you guys too. All right, let's talk about the quiz, which is now past due. So if you haven't already done it, it's going to cost you a late pass to do it. And remember, you only have 2 late passes. After that, you don't get credit for any late assignments. Okay, so question number 1 on the quiz. So if you didn't get a good score on Friday's test, are you stuck with that bad score? No, and hopefully you all, those of you that weren't happy with your score on Friday, hopefully you did the makeup test. So it is now too late to turn in the makeup test. It was due 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. Okay, so I will grade that later. We'll see how you guys did there. Was the makeup test the same question as the Friday test? No. Was it similar? Yes, but there were some very important differences. So I hope that you guys didn't just redo the Friday test, because that will not give you any credit. Okay, the secret word was, of course, brug. And I need you guys to be thinking of a good secret word for today's quiz. Don't start typing it in right now. Just be thinking about it. Towards the end of the quiz, if I forget, then please remind me, and we'll do a secret word for today too. Okay, so the midterm exam, the makeup midterm exam, this is what it looked like. It's not my intention to talk about the makeup midterm. I think we went over everything that we needed to go over in Friday's class, and Friday's class was recorded. It's not my intention to give you the answers to the makeup test today. I just put it up here just for fun. Okay, actually, let me go back here. You got a preview of what's coming. So so we are now finished with this particular unit. So this is 2 units combined together. What we just did was a combination of the computer science or computer engineering and electrical engineering. They go really well together. And so if this had been a real, well, if we had been back in school, I don't want to imply that what we're doing right now is not real. It's what we're doing right now is very different, very definitely real. But if we were back at Ames, back in the school, what we would do is now we would take our Arduinos and our photo sensors, and we would actually make the thing that you designed. If the coronavirus settles down to where we are able to get back to the school building before the school year is over, we will do that. But for right now, we're just going to have to go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so we are now starting into a new unit, computer-aided design, CAD. Okay, now I know there's at least one of you who is really good at this, and I suspect a couple more of you are, but this is something that everybody needs to know how to do. So back at the beginning of the semester, we spent some time learning how to do engineering drawings. And so what you see right here, these are the types of engineering drawings that we did. So you see the different types. There's perspective drawing, and then there's isometric drawing, which they've also called oblique here. That's 1-point isometric. This over here, this would be 2-point isometric. Okay, and so 2-point isometric is kind of like 2-point perspective. 1-point isometric is like 1-point isometric. And then over here we have the orthographic. Okay, so what we did was we did these all by hand. But, in the real world, engineers don't do them by hand. Engineers do them on the computer. So instead of this, what we're going to learn now is how to do this. All right, so what you're seeing is an isometric drawing of a reasonably complex part. It may look like it's difficult to do, but we're going to learn how to do stuff like this. You're going to find that it's not horribly impossible to do things like this. And we're not going to do super complicated stuff. I mean, if you really wanted to get into it, we could do stuff like this. This is beyond the scope of what we're going to do in this class. In this class, we're going to stick with things more like this up here. But I just want you to know that it is possible to do things like this, where each one of these little parts here is a drawing that fits together, or it fits together with all the other parts. And then if you do it all on CAD, it's really convenient to be able to see how they fit together. And also, the really good thing about CAD is once you've done the drawings on the computer, you can then just email the drawings to a machine shop, and your drawings will be compatible with their equipment, and they can automatically make this stuff for you. They have computer-driven milling machines, computer-driven all sorts of equipment, and they can take the CAD drawing that you see here. They just plug it into their computer-aided manufacturing equipment, and the machine will automatically make it. Or in some cases, the parts you might want, if it's okay to make them out of plastic, then what you might do is you do the drawing in CAD here, and then you just put it on a 3D printer, and your 3D printer can just print it for you. Now at Ames, we do have a 3D printer, and if we were back in the school building, the way I would do things is I would have everybody design a simple part, and then we would actually send it to the 3D printer and make it out of plastic. Now, since we're not at school, that's going to be kind of difficult to do. But I know at least one of you has a 3D printer. And can you guys type in the chat box if you have a 3D printer? Can you just type in, say, let me know if you got one? How much are they? Well, they vary in cost. I mean, it is possible to get a 3D printer for as cheap as about $300. But if you want a really good one, yeah, the sky's the limit. I mean, you can go 3,000 or 30,000. So David is saying that he knows Simon has one. So Simon apparently is not logged on here. Let me see my meeting participants here. Who have we got here? Yeah, okay. All right, Mason, come on. Oh, John's not saying he's not. Mason, I know you have one. How come you're not typing something in here? And I see you're online. How much does the one at Ames cost? Yeah, it's one of the cheaper ones. It's probably about a $500 one. Okay. So Mason, oh, there you are. Okay, all right. Sorry, you did type it in. I just didn't see it. Okay, so it looks like Mason's the only one that has one at his home. We do have one at Ames, and if we're lucky and the coronavirus thing settles down, we'll see how to use it. Okay, now this next drawing. Okay, there we go. Come on. Okay, this next drawing here, you might look at it and say, wait a minute, that's not a drawing, that's a photograph. It's actually not. That's actually a drawing. That's actually a CAD drawing done by a super sophisticated program. It's called SolidWorks. A program called SolidWorks is what the professional engineers use, and it has really advanced features. So in addition to drawing all the parts and seeing how they fit together, you can also add lighting and shading and everything like that. And it is so incredibly realistic. I mean, what you're seeing right now is a SolidWorks drawing. And, you know, if you didn't know better, you'd swear it was a photograph, but it's actually not a photograph. It's actually a SolidWorks drawing. So SolidWorks is amazing. This is the logo for SolidWorks. SolidWorks is really, really expensive. Oh, hang on a sec. They use a different software for aerospace. Well, there are lots of different software packages out there. SolidWorks is only one of them. SolidWorks' competitor, their main competitor anyway, is Autodesk. but there are others as well. These aren't the only two out there at all. But most of the mechanical engineers that I've worked with use SolidWorks, and it is an amazing package, but it costs it costs thousands of dollars per year. You have to renew your license every year, thousands of dollars per year for a license for SolidWorks. Now, we at Ames, we have a special arrangement because we're part of FIRST Robotics, and SolidWorks, they donate licenses to teams who are FIRST Robotics teams. So we do have access to the SolidWorks program on the Ames computers. And if any of you want to, if you are really into CAD and you want to do it the professional way, I can give you the license numbers and all the information so that you can download software onto your computer. But it has to be a high quality computer. It can't be an old cheapie. It has to be relatively recent, has to have a lot of RAM, a lot of capabilities. So after we've played with the software package that we're going to use, which is this one down here. So the one down here in the lower right is made by a company called Autodesk, and they have a professional version of Autodesk software, but they also have a amateur version called Tinkercad, which is free. It's online, everybody can use it. That's the one that we're going to use, is the Tinkercad one. But after you've played with Tinkercad for a while, if you are really seriously into CAD, then let me know and I can get you a license. I can get you the information so that you can download one of our licenses for SolidWorks. And keep in mind, it's a license that's worth thousands of dollars per year. So and we only have a limited number, so I don't want to give one out to everybody. And also SolidWorks is the learning curve is kind of steep. It's so advanced, it has so many features that the downside is that it takes quite a while to learn it. Whereas Tinkercad is really simple, really quick and easy to learn, not quite as powerful, in fact, not even close to being as powerful as SolidWorks. But for most people, 99% of the people in the world, Tinkercad will do everything that you need to do. It's really only the professionals who really need SolidWorks. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, now what you see up at the top of the screen here says go to tinkercad.com. Don't do this right now. Okay, for right now, just watch. And then toward the end of the class period, I will give you time where I will say, okay, now while we're all still online here, open up a new window, go to Tinkercad, do all this stuff. So don't do it now. For right now, just watch, and then we will come back and we will do it together while we're all still online. Okay, so the way it works is you're going to go to tinkercad.com, and you see up in the corner here, it says join now. Okay, let me get this. Okay, there. Okay, so up here it says join now. So that's what you're going to do. Okay, and then it's going to ask you to pick an option here. So the option that I would like you to do is this one that says students join a class. Now, if you want, you can do a personal account, but if anything that you do on your personal account, I won't be able to see it unless you save it and email it to me. Whereas if you join this class here, if you click on the green button that says students join a class, then any drawings that you do, I will be able to just automatically see. And so that's where I want you to start out, is that one right there. Okay, and then when you join, so after you've clicked the join class button, it's going to ask you to type in the class code. All right, so the code for my classroom is this. So everybody please write this down in your notebooks. It's shown here with capital letters. It doesn't have to be a capital letter. And so you can just type in F7GI, and you don't need to put in a space. It'll automatically do that for you. So G9DH7S91. So write that down in your notebooks. You're going to be using that later. So I see Annette has asked, what if you have an account for another class? That's interesting. Well, I want you to use my account, because if you use the other class's account, I won't be able to see the drawings that you do. So definitely use mine. But Annette, I'm very curious to know which class is it? Is it an Ames class? Or is this some other class you've taken? In robotics with Webster, he uses Tinkercad? Ah, wow, that's good. I didn't know he did that. Okay, excellent. Well, you guys have got a head start here then. Okay, so, all right, now, once you've gone in there, it's going to ask you for your nickname, which is kind of a funny thing. Why don't they call it a username? I'm not sure why they call it a nickname instead of a username, but it's basically your username. And so I have already assigned your nickname or your usernames for you, so you can't make up your own. It's going to be first name, last name, and then Ames. Okay, so if your name was Douglas Hendricks, it would be Douglas Hendricks Ames. Notice that there are no spaces, no dots, no anything. And so make sure you log in with that. And some of you maybe have hyphenated last names. So if that's the case, you're going to have to check with me to see exactly how it worked out. But hopefully you'll all get logged on. Okay, so once you log on, the first time you log on, you're going to see this screen right here, which is going to be mostly empty because you haven't yet done any designs. But each time you do a design, it will save it on here. So Marshall's asking, what's the code? Hang on, Marshall. Well, actually, let's go back. Okay. So the code was this. So everybody write that down. F7GI G9DH 7S91. Okay. Oh, I see. So Danny, that you got an ampersand in there. So that's not quite right. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, good. All right, but don't do it just yet. For right now, remember you want to just be watching right now. I'll give you time to do it later. Okay, so once you go in here, you're going to see up in the upper right corner here, it says learn, right? So that's what I want you to click on is learn. And then it'll bring you to a thing here. So you've got starters, you got lessons and projects. So your homework for today is going to be to do the starters. There are 7 starters, very, very short things. I mean, they take like 3 or 4 minutes for each one of them. So it won't take you very long to work through all the starters. Those of you who've done this before, well, okay, maybe you could just skip the starters. Okay, so the first one that you want to start with is one over on the left here, and that will teach you how to place things. Basically, so if you look on the left side of the screen, it's got instructions. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a shape from over on the right side. You're going to click on it and you're going to drag it in. And so if you want a rectangular shape, you're going to drag that one in. If you round, cylindrical, these things up here, these are holes. So basically what you do is after you drag in a shape, if you want to put a hole in that shape, then you drag in the hole. I don't need to go into too much detail, I think, because the tutorial, I think, does a very good job of showing you how to do that. And after you've done the thing properly, then what'll happen is the little stars will come shooting out and they'll say, congratulations, good job. Now, the funny thing about the code is even if you don't do it quite right, it'll still say congratulations and it'll still shoot the stars out. I think they need to fix their code a little bit. Okay, and so then after you've done that, then down here, you will see it'll say done. And so if you click done, it'll move you on to the next task. So like I said, there are 7 different tasks that are part of the starters thing, which is your homework for tonight. So you're not going to be doing anything very complicated tonight. Super, super basic stuff. And then later on in the week, we'll get more complex as it goes on. Okay, so there are 7 of these starter activities. Okay, so it starts with place it, view it, move it, rotate it, size it up, group it, and then align it. Okay, so it shouldn't take you more than 15 or 20 minutes. They're quick and simple. And so after you've done these, then you're ready to do part 2, which is the real homework tonight. Okay, I want you guys to design a traffic light, okay? So I'm not going to be fussy about the size of all the objects, okay? I will be fussy that the three discs here that are going to be the red, yellow, and green light, they do have to be well aligned. In fact, they have to be perfectly aligned with each other. And they have to be aligned with the middle of the rectangular body of the traffic light, you know, the thing that holds them. And so you can see here that I've got several different views. And as you work through the tutorial, it'll show you how to change. So you can view it from this angle or view it from this angle or whatnot. You can zoom in, zoom out. It tells you in the tutorials how to do that. Okay, so your assignment is going to be just simply do this. And now some of you who are really into CAD, you might say, well, Mr. Hendricks, do you want it to be 1 foot, 1 inch, you know, 12 inch, whatever? I'm not going to worry about size right now. If you just get something that looks like this, I'll call it good. So bop it, pull it, twist it. Okay. All right. Okay, so that should be pretty straightforward. Now, when you create a drawing in Tinkercad, it automatically assigns it a name. And it's not a name like CAD Assignment 1. It's some whimsical name. And so what you need to do is you need to take the whimsical name that Tinkercad assigns it, click on it, and then it will allow you to change that to a name that actually has some meaning. And so once you've got your traffic light drawn, I want you to click up here and call it CAD Assignment 1. And you don't need to select save or anything. Tinkercad will automatically auto-save everything that you do. So once you call it CAD Assignment 1, you're done. You don't need to email it to me, because provided that you created the drawing in the Hendricks classroom, I will be able to see your drawing. So you don't have to send it to me. And then now, and don't forget to take the daily quiz. Every time we have a class here, I will always have a daily quiz afterwards. Like I've told you before, that's the way I take roll. That's how you get credit for attending class. And it does count as 10 points. Now, while we're looking at the daily quiz here, we probably ought to decide on what's the secret word for today. Anybody have any suggestions on what you'd like the secret word for today to be? Yow. Okay. Let's see if any others. Bop it. Okay. Rug. Okay. Grub. Let's go with rug. I like rug. Okay. So let me just make a note here. Okay. Hang on a sec. Bug, no, Danny. Okay. Well, too late. I've already decided rug is going to be it. Okay, so that's the secret word for today, rug. All right. And now there also will be a few other questions on the quiz. Just really, really simple things. So if you've worked through the Tinkercad learning modules, the 7 learning modules that I asked you to do, if you've worked through those, then you'll easily be able to answer the questions on the quiz. Okay, so I see a lot of people typing stuff, but it looks to be just basically gibberish from what I can tell. All right, so I'm going to ignore it unless somebody asks a question that's actually meaningful. Okay, so now, for the rest of the time today in today's online class, I want you guys to go ahead and log on. So open up a new window. So keep this class open so that way if you have any questions, I can help you. The thing that's probably going to be the most difficult is when you go to type in your username, what you want to enter might be slightly different than the username that I entered for you. So that's where I anticipate the problems. So everybody go ahead and open up a new window, type in tinkercad.com. Oh, Novelli is saying that it won't let you open up a new window. Interesting. Are the rest of you guys having that problem too? If you go up to the top of the page, you should see something that says View Options. Let's see, let me get, okay. All right, so you should see something that says View Options, and one of those view options should be Exit Full Screen. Okay, so, okay. Oh, so Brian is just, he's saying he just hit Escape a couple times. Okay, that works too. Imagine having one monitor. Yeah, I agree. Having one monitor makes it a little more difficult. Okay, so Novelli's good there. Okay, so hopefully you've opened up a new window. You've gone to tinkercad.com. You've clicked on Join Now. And so now it's taking you to this page right here. And so click on the green button, the one that says Students Join a Class. Okay. Here again is the code to enter. So if you've got a new window open, you probably can't see what I'm saying here, but hopefully you wrote it down. I'll go ahead and tell it verbally here. So the code is F7G5G9DH7S91. Okay, so that's the code that'll get you into the Tinkercad class. Okay. All right. Once you get into there, it's going to ask you for your nickname. So remember, nickname is first name, last name, and then Ames, no spaces, no dots or anything. So Novelli is saying that her name is too long. Okay. All right, so Novelli, I can get in there and I can look up what I typed in your name as. Dan's is saying that his cannot be found. Okay, so tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Now I need to warn you, once I stop sharing the screen, my face is going to jump out really big. Oh, is that scary or what? Okay, so tell you what, here I'm going to turn off the video so you don't have to look at my face. Okay, so hang on while I go into here and let me see what I entered you guys' names as. Hang on a sec. Okay, I gotta wait for it to take me to the right page here. And in a minute, I will know. Okay, so Novelli. All right. So Novelli, your user, actually here, you know what I can do is I can share this screen right here. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Novelli, you should be able to see it now. So you can see right here, NOVELIMACIEJEWSK. Oh, I see it. It automatically took off the I there, didn't it? Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess there was too many letters. So Novelli, just leave off the I. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 27208. That's not what I put in. I put in Ames for everybody. What is going on here? Are you guys having the same problem? I specifically told it Ames for all of these things. Okay, so hang on a sec while I change it to Ames, because that's what I wanted. Oh, maybe did I not click save? Is that okay? Maybe that's the problem, was I didn't click save. Okay, so hang on while I go through and fix this for everybody. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, okay, that was the problem, was I didn't click save. Okay, so you guys can watch real time as I do this. Okay, so I've got Max now, so okay, Mason is next. Okay, Luke Holt is next. Okay. Okay. All right, Simon, you're up now. All right, Dan's, I just did you. Van, I'm doing you right now. Okay, Tristan, I'm up to you now. Last night I went and I did this for everybody, but I forgot to click save. Actually, I didn't realize I needed to click save. Okay, David Sorensen. Zoe, I just did you. Brian, you're now good. And Annette, you're now good. Oh, and then Michael Allred, how did you get down at the bottom there, Michael? Okay, so everybody should be good now. Relaxing jazz music. Yeah, you guys want to listen to some relaxing jazz music here while we're doing this? You like the music? Okay. Okay, good. What's the code? All right, so Simon wants to know what the code is. So let me go to a new share on that. There you go, Simon. There's the code. Oh, Danny, thank you for doing that. Okay. All right, so Simon, you got that? F7GI G9DH 7S91. Fallout 76, I'm not familiar with them. Okay, how's everybody doing? Is there anybody who has not yet been able to log on? Okay, Danny's good. The rest of you, if you don't say no, I'm going to assume you're logged on. Okay. Okay, I'm starting to see a lot of people saying they're in now. Okay. All right. So once you get in, just work through the tutorials, the 7 tutorials, and then make a traffic light, and then we're done. So I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes. It's not my intention to stay online until you guys totally finish the assignment, but I will stay online for another 5 minutes in case anybody has any questions. Okay, so Simon is saying he can't find his name. Okay, so Simon, here I will go back to this one. All right, so Simon, where are you at? There you are. Okay, so can you see that, Simon? So SIMONNELSONAMES, you have to type that in. All right, so Luke wants to know how hard this stuff is. We'll be doing this class. He has a SolidWorks license. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So Luke and Mason, even though you guys are way advanced compared to what we're going to be doing in this class, I'd still like you to do the first couple assignments using Tinkercad. And my logic there is if you guys learn how Tinkercad works, which will take you like 2 seconds, then you could help the other people. Okay. So yeah, even though you know SolidWorks, which is way better than Tinkercad, I'd still like you to learn Tinkercad anyway. and it will not take you very long at all to learn Tinkercad. And so Luke, when we get to the more advanced CAD assignments, yes, I absolutely encourage you to use Tinkercad for the, or I'm sorry, use SolidWorks. I encourage you to use SolidWorks for the more advanced assignments. But right now, for the really simple ones, use Tinkercad, just so that you will then know how Tinkercad works, so you can then help the other students. Okay, so Eve is saying, where can you find the starters? All right, so they should be here. Let me go to a new screen here. Oh, by the way, Simon, are you in now? Okay, yeah, Ryan is saying it's in Learn, so that is the correct thing to do. So click on Learn, and then you should see them. Let's see, let me get into here. Okay, so if any of you are watching my screen right now, what you're seeing on my screen right now, that is what I want you guys to be doing. The traffic light here is it. Let's see, let me go back. Okay, let me go back into here. Okay, so if you click on Learn, okay, so there it shows you the starters there. Okay, so Eve is good now. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to hang out for a few minutes in case people have questions. Are you free to leave the conference? Absolutely. In fact, you know, you don't have to attend any of these live class sessions. You know, if you've got some other conflict, or if somebody uses the computer, you do not have to attend the live sessions, but you do need to watch the recorded ones. So yeah, if you think you're good, then bye-bye. Just make sure that you draw the traffic light that I asked for, and call it AutoCAD, or call it CAD assignment 1. And then what I will do is later, well, tomorrow sometime, I'll go on to Tinkercad and check to make sure everybody did it. And also don't forget to take the quiz. That's important too. All right, so goodbye, Van. Anybody else? Questions or comments? Okay, I'm not seeing anybody typing anything. So I'm assuming that's because you're busy going through the tutorials. I'm not seeing any questions yet. Okay, well, tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the recording. There's no reason to record all of this. So those of you that are watching the recorded session that weren't here live, if you have any questions, email me. Those of you that are here live, after I turn off the recording, I am going to stay online for a few more minutes, just in case if any of you have any questions. So here goes the recording. So goodbye, everybody who's watching the recording.